Section 1. The Intimate Mystery. What is consciousness? When you wake in the morning, who is it that notices the first rays of sunlight filtering through your window? Continuing. Who notices the first rays of sunlight filtering through your window? When you feel a pang of sadness or a surge of pure joy, who is the one experiencing that feeling? These are not trivial questions. They are small doorways into one profound and persistent mysteries of human existence. This internal world of feeling awareness and experience is what we call consciousness. It is the simple, undeniable fact of what it is like to be you. Section 2. The Great Divide, Dualism and the Ghost in the Machine. Our journey into the mind-body problem properly begins in the 17th century with the French philosopher René Descartes. He was a thinker who sought certainty in a world of doubt. I think, therefore I am. For Descartes, doubting his own existence proved he, as a thinking thing, must exist. This led him to propose a fundamental split in reality between two different kinds of substances. On one side, there was the physical world, the res extensa, matter that takes up space and operates according to mechanical laws. Your body, your brain, the chair you are sitting on. On the other side, Descartes posited the mind, res cogitans, a non-physical thinking substance. It does not take up space and is not governed by the laws of physics. Section 3. The Brain's Symphony, Materialism's Counterpoint. In stark contrast to dualism stands materialism, or physicalism, the dominant perspective in modern science and much of contemporary philosophy. Materialism proposes only one kind of substance in the universe, matter and energy. From this standpoint, the mind is not a separate, ethereal entity, but rather what the brain does. Consciousness is seen as an emergent property of the brain's staggering complexity. 86 billion neurons fire in intricate patterns, communicating through trillions of synaptic connections. Consciousness is a biological process, just like digestion or respiration, but of far greater complexity. The evidence supporting materialism is vast and grows exponentially every year. Section 4. The Hard Problem. Why does anything feel like something? While materialism offers a powerful and scientifically grounded framework, it runs into a profound conceptual challenge, one that I have termed the hard problem of consciousness. To understand this, it helps to first distinguish it from what we might call the easy problems. The easy problems are, in principle, solvable through standard neuroscientific methods. They involve explaining the functions and behaviors associated with consciousness. How does the brain process sensory information? How does it integrate that information to control behavior? How can we report our internal states? These are incredibly complex questions, but they are ultimately about objective mechanisms and information processing. The hard problem, however, is of a different kind entirely. It asks why and how physical processing should give rise to subjective experience at all. So the mystery remains. The stubbornness of the hard problem has spurred a new generation of theories that attempt to think about consciousness in novel ways. These ideas move beyond the simple dualism versus materialism debate, dualism, materialism, and offer more nuanced and sometimes more speculative approaches. One of the most prominent of these is integrated information theory, developed by neuroscientist Giulio Tononi. IIT proposes that consciousness is a fundamental property of systems that possess a certain kind of complexity. Specifically, it is tied to a system's capacity to integrate a large amount of information. IIT defines a mathematical measure called phi, which quantifies the degree to which a system is highly differentiated, containing many different states and highly integrated. The parts are causally interconnected in a way that the whole is more than the sum of its parts. According to the theory, any system with a phi value greater than 0 has some degree of consciousness. A human brain, with its vast and intricate network of connections, would have an astronomically high phi. A simple photodiode, on the other hand, would have a phi of 0. IIT intriguingly suggests that consciousness is not an all-or-nothing affair, but a graded phenomenon that could exist in many different systems, biological or otherwise. When we discuss the possibility of the mind existing without the body, we cannot ignore the wealth of anecdotal evidence that seems to support this very idea. For centuries, people from all cultures have reported extraordinary experiences, passaways on the brink of death. These are known as near-death experiences, or NDEs. Survivors of cardiac arrest, survivors of trauma, survivors of other life-threatening events often describe a common set of phenomena, a feeling of profound peace and well-being, the sensation of leaving their physical body, traveling through a tunnel towards a brilliant light, encountering deceased relatives or spiritual beings. One of the most compelling aspects is the out-of-body experience, or OBE. In some cases, individuals claim to have floated above their own bodies, observing medical procedures, observing conversations happening around them with remarkable accuracy. They later recount details they could not have known from their physical vantage point, such as the appearance of a specific surgical instrument, or the words spoken by a family member in a waiting room down the hall. While anecdotal reports of NDEs pull us towards the possibility of a separate mind, the overwhelming weight of evidence from modern neuroscience anchors consciousness firmly to the physical brain. Every day, in laboratories and hospitals around the world, the intimate connection between mental events and brain activity is demonstrated with increasing precision. fMRI PET scans watch the brain think, feel, perceive in real time. We can see that imagining a song activates the same auditory cortex regions as actually hearing it. We can see that feeling empathy for someone else's pain lights up parts of our own pain matrix. This correlation is not a loose association, it's a tight, predictable coupling. As our technological capabilities advance, the mind-body problem is no longer just a topic for philosophers and neuroscientists. It is beginning to enter the realm of computer science and artificial intelligence. This raises a new set of fascinating and unsettling questions. If consciousness is indeed a product of information processing, as theories like IIT and computational models of the mind suggest, could we one day create a conscious mind in a machine? Could we, for example, build an artificial brain that perfectly simulates the neural activity of a human brain? If we did, would it be genuinely conscious? Would it have subjective experiences? This line of thought leads to the concept of mind uploading. We have journeyed from the dualism of Descartes to the materialism of modern neuroscience, from the hard problem of subjective experience to the speculative futures of digital minds and simulated realities. We have weighed the personal, anecdotal evidence of near-death experiences against the vast, objective data from brain scans. Through it all, the central question remains as elusive as ever. Can the mind exist without the body? The honest answer, as of November 1st, 2025, is that we do not know. We are left with a collection of competing theories, compelling arguments, and a profound sense of mystery. Materialism, grounded in the successes of science, offers the most parsimonious and evidence-based account, tethering consciousness ephetos to the intricate dance of neurons. Yet, it struggles to bridge the explanatory gap for the brute fact of subjective feeling, the what it's like of our inner lives. Dualism, in its various forms, honors our powerful intuition that mind is something more than mere mechanism and resonates with our spiritual hopes, but it stumbles on the problem of interaction and lacks a clear, testable scientific foothold. Newer theories like IIT and panpsychism attempt to forge a middle path, but they remain highly theoretical and face their own daunting Perhaps the most reasonable position to hold is one of intellectual humility. Ultimately, the quest to understand consciousness is a quest to understand ourselves. We can appreciate the symphony of the brain without dismissing the mystery of the music.